Hi you guys, if you clicked on this tutorial, you're probably wondering how to get this super quick and easy makeup look that I typically use when I'm going to work or when I'm going to school, or even on the days where I don't really feel like wearing heavy makeup but I still want to look presentable. Then this is definitely the tutorial for you. I do want to add that any products that I will use in the video, I'll definitely list them in the description. That way you don't have to be jumping back and forth from the video, or if you just want to easily see the name of stuff, I'll definitely have it down below. And also I want to add, if you want to make this look a little bit more dramatic, you could definitely do that by focusing more on the eyes. So I will usually add falsies to the end of my eyes just to give me more a little bit of that like cat eye look, or if I'm going out at night or I want to take pictures, I definitely focus on the eyes more. I just want to throw that out there just in case you guys were wondering. Also, bear with me because I am still trying to figure out my camera settings, and for some reason my makeup just doesn't look the same on camera than it does in person. Like, I definitely feel like I look a little bit washed out on camera, and in person you could definitely see the makeup more, but I feel like you'll get the idea with the thumbnail and as I'm further explaining in the video. So having said that, let's get started with the tutorial. Okay guys, so for this look I typically do this every day, whether I'm in a rush and I'm trying to get ready or literally I'm going to school or work. This is pretty much what I do. If you hear some noises in the background, I am at home, so sorry for any noise you might hear. Okay, to start off with priming, I don't really prime. I just feel like it really doesn't make a difference, and that might be controversial. I just feel like it just makes me oily throughout the day, so I do make sure I wash and tone my face and hydrate and all that before I put on makeup, but I don't really prime. It just depends on the mood I'm in. But if I do prime, I go in with the e.l.f. What is it? The Power Grip Primer. I go in either with the pink one, or I use the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I really only put this on if I'm like doing more of a full face, but because this is my everyday quick makeup, I don't really prime. You guys know I like to switch off my foundations. I don't really stick to one same foundation, but for this look I really love this L'Oreal True Match, like the shade drops. This is in the shade 2-3 Light Pale. I always gravitate towards this. I literally have repurchased this so many times. I've gotten so many compliments and questions about what I'm using, and it's this. I will literally always repurchase this. And for this I do use like a little brush that looks like this. I used to use this for my blush, but now I switched it for this step. So yeah. Okay, and then for this I only like to apply it towards my lower parts of my face where I know I'm not gonna put concealer. So essentially I just put it on my lower parts of my face, obviously my chin, and I think that might be too much, but also I just put a little bit on the top of my forehead. And then this is when I get the brush and I just kind of swirl it in. I'm not like super precise with it or anything. I just really want to make sure that my bottom part is covered, if that makes, like the bottom portion of my face is covered. And then whatever is extra I kind of just go on my nose and start working it a little bit towards where the concealer is gonna go, and then obviously blend out the forehead. So after I'm done blending that out, the coverage isn't perfect. I definitely still have some redness where my eyebrows are, and obviously underneath here because I haven't put any concealer. And I do also switch up my concealers just depending on what mood or look I'm going for. But typically I will use the Tower 28 concealer, and this one's in the shade EP. And for this, I literally do like a little, I guess, triangle, you could say. I focus it more on the bottom portion of my face rather than like right underneath the eye. And then with a damp beauty blender, that's when I go ahead and I blend it out. And I will extend it till about like right here underneath my tail of my eyebrow. I'm gonna start to blend it. And as you can see, I'm trying to focus mainly on covering the parts that have redness, and then whatever's extra I kind of, I guess, like work my way up towards underneath my eye. I blend from down and then I work my way up. That way it kind of like evenly distributes. Okay, and then whatever's left on my beauty blender, I just like to go down the bridge of my nose and on top of my eyebrows a little bit. Then to bronze my face, I like to use the Saie Sun Melt. I use the shade Medium Bronze. And I don't necessarily use this for contouring, but I like to use this just to warm up the face. And for that, I use a little brush that looks like this. It's kind of dense, slightly angled, so that's the type of brush I like to use with this product. And I just kind of tap it, and I like to start at my forehead, like one side of my forehead, and then work my way down. So as you can see, that's already leaving bronze. And then for my cheek, I typically, for placement, I start at the end and then I will stop right where the corner of my eye is. I don't know if that helps, but that's just kind of where I place my bronzer. And again, because it's not contour, I'm not being super specific with it. I just mainly want it for the purpose of bronzing up my face. And I like this product because it's super buildable. Like, I feel like if you're a beginner at makeup or you're too scared to kind of go in with cream bronzing products, this is really easy to kind of build little by little, and then if you put too much, it's super easy to kind of blend out. So, and I kind of do put a lot because I feel like it just makes your skin look so pretty towards the end, and like I said, it's super buildable. So okay, if you feel like it looks a little bit crazy, don't worry, because we're gonna blend it out right now. Everything's gonna come together. So as soon as I finish this step, I will go in with a brush like this. This is a Sephora Airbrush Concealer, and I love to use it for contouring or bronzing up my nose. So I just take a little bit, as you can see. I'll start from the front of my eyebrow and then drag it down. Again, not super precise since it's literally not for contouring, it's just for bronzing. But yeah, I'll go here and then bring it down the bridge of my nose. So you see how it's already kind of forming that shape. And then I will kind of just tap the excess down my nose. Usually I'll leave it like this, but if I feel like the sides are a little bit too harsh, then I go in with my beauty blender again, and I just slightly tap the sides, just because I don't want that bronze to disappear. Now for the next cream product, I'm going to go in with blush. I also do change out my blushes quite frequently. I like to just use different makeup and just test it out. I don't really like to stick to one thing, but as I've mentioned, for this base routine, I pretty much keep the products the same unless I feel like switching out a blush one day. But for this one, I've been using the Merit cream blush. This is in the shade Cheeky, and it's just like a really pretty mauvey pink color. I like this because it gives me a little bit of like that sunburnt look, and sometimes I don't want the super bright baby pink blush for an everyday. So for this, I use my Real Techniques brush. I couldn't tell you the name of it, but it looks like this. I'm pretty sure they still sell it at Target, and it's the rose gold one. So I just, again, tap the product. And for this, what I've changed is I used to do it, I guess, like more higher, but now I focus it on the center of my cheek, right in the middle of my eye, till towards about like the end of my tail of my eyebrow. I have just liked this placement better for me. I feel like it suits me better. But of course, obviously the glam changes. Like if I'm putting on more makeup or trying to go for a different look, then obviously my placement will change. But for everyday, I just like this. I just take a little bit and I will put it, instead I would put it at the bottom, right, typically, but now I'm going to put it on top like this, across, like a little sunburnt look, I guess you could say. And yes. Okay, you guys, we're almost done. We're gonna move on to powders now. To set my whole face, I like to go in with the One Size Turn Up the Base foundation powder in the shade Light 2. But I just take a powder puff and I will just set my under eyes and anywhere where I get oily. I'm very much a powder girl. I love to be matte, but obviously I do end up looking, I guess, glowy because I am oily, and I've said that so many times on here, and for some reason the camera's not picking up all the pigment, but I promise guys, I don't look extremely washed out. It's just the lighting, I think. After that, I like to go in with the Huda Beauty loose setting powder. This is in the shade Cherry Blossom, and during the Sephora sale I picked up the fragrance free version and I absolutely love this powder. I definitely will be repurchasing it, but I just take a little bit and I only put it right here, like in the front portion of my eyes, and then whatever's extra I just build it up to the side of my nose. And then I'll put a little bit on the center of my forehead. And then obviously to clean up that bronzer, we're gonna highlight a little bit underneath there. Now while that's baking and doing its thing, I do like to go in with bronzer, and the bronzer I'm going to be using today is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. This is in Diffused Bronze Light. I just like to take it on a loose brush like this. Again, nothing super serious. Like, this look is not about being precise, if that makes sense. Like, it's literally just to add color to your face and to still look put together when you're in a rush. So I just put it all over my forehead, in between my bake, on the bottom of my nose, and then obviously the sides of my nose. Take a brush like this, and I use that to dust away my bake. And I do press in my bake instead of swiping it away. I press it in. Next, for blush, I do like to use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Blush and Glow Glide palette. It's so pretty. But I mainly like to go in with the shimmer shade, and then I'll maybe put like one little press of the actual blush. So, for example, I like to go 1, 2, and then a stamp of the blush. And then I like to obviously set like my whole cheek area with that. Next, I go in with the NYX brow glue. And before, I used to do this step before like I did any makeup, but my eyebrows would look super like white and cakey, and I've noticed it's because product falls on my eyebrows as I'm doing my makeup, so I just save it towards the last step. And I brush from the bottom up because I just feel like it easily laminates my brows that way. Instead of trying to do it like from the top up, I go bottom, if that makes sense. So if they do look a little bit like out of place, I just take the end of my Refi brow pencil and I just kind of slightly brush the brows back into place. My second to last step will be mascara. This is literally just an old Rimmel London eyelash curler. I do want to repurchase a new one soon, but the mascara I've been using ever since I took off my lash extensions is the Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara. I like this because it's more of a dry formula. It's not extremely wet, and I feel like that just works with my lashes better, and it holds the curl longer than a super wet formula. So what I like about this is that the wand is like it's a curved wand. I will repeat this process about 2 times. So, and again, that might be controversial because so many people say don't curl your lashes after you put on mascara, like it's gonna damage your lashes, but honestly that's the only way my lashes stay curled, and I've been doing that since high school. That's about it for the eyes. Usually if I want more of a dramatic look on the eyes, I'll either add falsies to the end of my eyes or I'll go in with a couple more coats of mascara, but typically I just leave it at 2 coats and that's it. Lastly, for lips, I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade Iconic Nude, and I do overline my lips. Okay, and then once I line them, I like to go in a little bit with the Laneige, what is this, lip chapstick, and I just put a little bit. For color, I do like to go in with the Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in the shade Rose Glow. Nudie pink, I guess. But yeah, I just put I dab it in the middle. Okay, you guys, that was literally it for my tutorial. Super quick, super easy. Literally what I do every single day. And I like that it doesn't feel extremely heavy, especially since it's going to be a lot hotter in these upcoming weeks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and thank you so much for watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye!